Hey, good morning, Sound and Glass engineers. This is a Tarantino style video for the Optimum 21mm buffer that we all jumped in on. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. I tried to edit this video yesterday. I filmed all kinds of content and I hated it. I hated my opening and I hated the close and it made no sense, so I'm having to do this again. Dodgers, Azul, NLCS. Video about the Optimum 21mm polisher. It was on clearance special from Opticoat for $100. It was about $110 shipped to me because of California tax. I used this polisher for a few hours. The polishes that I ran through it is Coach Kimmy's fine cut, Coach Kimmy's micro polish, and then my favorite, McKee's ceramic deep gloss sealant. In working with these different compounds, I've discovered a few different things. One is that this does not have the speed nor the torque necessary to use a 6-inch pad. It's just not going to happen. Most important to you is this 6-inch backing. You need to use an oversized pad, and that is, don't use a 6-inch pad with a 6-inch backing. You need a 6.5 or a 6.75 backing. Now McKee's makes red line, and these pads are 6.75 inch, and I feel very comfortable telling you you'll never have a bump issue with pushing that plastic backing into the surface of your car. So bear that in mind. Now, if you insist on attempting to make this do heavy polishing, there's ways around that. Take off this 6-inch backing, go to the 5-inch backing that they've provided you, go with that 5.5 or 5.75 inch pad. Now that you have that smaller pad, you've got a better amount of force to apply to a smaller area, which gives you a bit more torque. You can do a few things to accomplish this. You can press down, and I'm not used to pressing down on a polisher. I let the tool do the work, but you'll have to apply about 5 to 6 pounds of pressure downward in order to get this to do any meaningful heavy polishing. The other thing that you can do is you can use a more aggressive polish than you initially had a plan for. So take a step up. If you're trying to do heavy polishing, I would go with a compound that is a light cut. Additionally, if you want to use this on the regular, I have no problem recommending this unit to you if you want to apply a liquid wax or a sealant, which requires a slower speed. Or let's say if you're doing a 3 all-in-one type polish, because those all-in-one polishes, they're not really designed to remove scratches as much as they're designed to remove swirl marks, which is much easier to get to, as well as you won't overcook the sealant that's also in that 3-in-1 compound. Let's talk about a few other features of it. So, before I show you the actual work that the polisher did, let's go through some of the battery charging aspects of the polisher. Now, it's a 4 amp hour battery, and it's pretty light for 4 amp hours. I've got a drone flying over the head. Hello, drone. This is a Milwaukee 5 amp hour battery, and it's much heavier. I mean, almost to the point of probably 30% heavier. And this is a Flex 2.5, which weighs more than this 4 amp hour battery. So is it really 4 amps? I don't know. It does have a button so you can see your level of charge, and they did come pre-charged, which was interesting to me. You get 3 batteries with the polisher, and you also get 2 charging units. It's a very simple positive and negative charging unit. The charger itself has no fan to cool it, so if you're doing a lot of work in a short duration of time and you're really just making this unit work, heat buildup is a problem, so you're going to want to apply a fan to your charger in order to minimize the charger shutting off from overheating. But having a multiple number of chargers, I really just don't see that as an issue. The charger and the batteries and the unit for me were $110 with California tax, and that was a steal. Again, I have no problem telling you I would use this thing all day long to apply a sealant or a liquid wax and maybe even a tin-based wax. But for actual cutting or heavy polishing, I've given you my recommendations on how to use this. So let's cut to the actual work that this polisher did, and you can make up your own mind. Now, real quick note here. I did this video last night, and this is one of those breakaway moments that you don't expect to do. All right, so we're gonna impregnate the car surface a little here. move the polish around. And actually, it's only supposed to be this side. So,
Does that feel good and spread out?
immediately I can tell you that polisher doesn't move fast enough. All right, let's take a look. Now, you might have seen my video about the perfectly safe brush from DIY Detail, and I did get some surface marring, a little bit of scratching, very, very minimal, but it's already gone because I'd polished it out with a McKee's product. So, I like it, but not enough power, really, not enough power. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this whole thing up. That the work is already done, and I'm going to be wiping off a high gloss McKee's 37 sealant, which is one of my favorite products. This deep gloss ceramic sealant is extreme. It is an extreme wet look. In any case, I like a wet look on my car. We're going to wipe this all off. And here's the work. This is the side that was specifically done with that Optimum. And here's a side that was done with a polisher more than 7 times the price. Notice the difference in detail. That's actual medium grade polishing, lots of detail. Same tree. We just don't get that same level of detail. I don't know if the camera picks that up. But again, $110. It's a great buy.